The classroom buzzed with the low hum of chatter, the scratching of pens, and the rustle of papers, but Ava couldn't hear any of it. All she could hear was her own heartbeat, pounding fast, uneven, painfully loud in her ears. It was her third week at a new school, and she still felt like a ghost passing through crowded hallways. She liked it that way. Being invisible felt safe. But safety is fragile. Quiet doesn't always keep you safe. It began with small things, whispers that stopped the moment she turned her head. Snickers curling behind her back. A stray shoe accidentally tripping her in the hall. A water bottle tipping over onto her desk. She told herself it was nothing. She had survived new schools before, new faces, and the familiar sting of loneliness. But this time, it was different. This wasn't just meanness, it was sharp, deliberate, and it was escalating. Ava had moved to the city from a quiet town after her dad's job transfer. She missed the soft green trees outside her old bedroom window, the little dojo where she trained every weekend, the friend who had always been there, defending her from teasing kids. Here, in the bustling, echoing halls of Millbrook High, she was just the weird new girl, easy to ignore. It seemed easy to target. Quiet, anxious, always in long sleeves, even when the sun beat down on the city streets. That was Avasmal, careful, hoping to disappear. The worst of the bullying came from three girls in her homeroom, Chelsea, Belle, and Zoe. They ruled the classroom like it was their personal kingdom, thriving on attention, control, and the fear of anyone who dared to stand out. Chelsea, the ringleader, had a perfect smile that hid a sharp, calculated cruelty. Belle and Zoe followed her like shadows, laughing at Ava's thrift store backpack, mimicking her soft accent until it made her stomach twist. One time, Chelsea snapped a photo of Ava staring blankly out the window in class, edited little devil horns on her head, and sent it to the entire grade's group chat. Ava said nothing. Her silence was a shield. It was the only thing that kept her safe until the day it broke. It was Friday, history class. Everyone was bent over their notebooks, copying notes in the hum of scribbling pens. Ava sat near the back, head low, pretending she wasn't there. She didn't notice them slipping behind her until it was too late. A faint snip, then another. At first, she thought someone had dropped scissors. Then came the cold, sharp draft brushing the back of her legs. A few students gasped, and a wave of cruel laughter rolled through the room. Ava's eyes went wide in panic. Her skirt had been crudely cut along the back seam, hanging loose, exposing her legs. "Oops," Chelsea said, her smile wider than ever, as if nothing could be more amusing. Chelsea whispered loud enough for the whole class to hear. Didn't mean to give everyone a show. The room erupted in cruel giggles and muffled gasps. The teacher didn't notice, too absorbed in the textbook to see the chaos behind him. Ava rose slowly, every nerve on fire. Her fists clenched, her vision blurred, not with fear this time, but with humiliation and rage. Her legs shook not from panic, but from restraint. Years of quiet, swallowing her voice, and staying invisible came crashing down all at once. Something inside her snapped. She turned, eyes locking on Chelsea, who still wore that mocking, perfect smile. "Don't touch me again," Ava said, voice low but unshakable. The classroom went quiet. Chelsea raised an eyebrow, sneering. "Or what? You gonna cry, little mouse?" Ava said nothing. She stepped forward. Chelsea shoved her, laughing. "Back off." In that moment, Ava moved like a striking flash of lightning. Instincts took over reflexes, honed from 5 years of judo training. She grabbed Chelsea's arm, twisted, and with a smooth, explosive motion, flipped her over her shoulder. Chelsea hit the floor with a thunderous thud. Wind knocked from her lungs. The room froze. Belle lunged forward, screaming, but Ava sidestepped and swept her leg. Belle toppled sideways into a desk, her scream dying into a sharp yelp. Every eye was on Ava now, wide with shock, as the air seemed to crackle with tension. Zoe stumbled back, frozen with horror, but it was too late. Ava caught her wrist in a precise arm lock and, with firm but controlled pressure, guided her to the floor. 3 girls, once untouchable, now lay humiliated at her feet. The silence that followed was almost unbearable, heavy with shock. Then the teacher finally turned around, eyes wide, jaw slack. "Ava, what on earth?" Ava didn't flinch. She wrapped her skirt around herself, grabbed her bag, and walked straight to the principal's office. Every step steady, head held high. The room seemed to hum with the disbelief of everyone who had witnessed what just happened by lunchtime. The video was everywhere. Someone had captured the whole thing. "Shy girl judo slams Chelsea," the caption screamed. By the end of the day, it had been shared over 300 times. Students who had barely noticed Ava now stared, whispering, their eyes filled with a mix of awe and fear. The principal suspended Chelsea, Belle, and Zoe for bullying and harassment. Multiple students vouched for Ava, and she was cleared of any wrongdoing. Even the school counselor praised her courage, telling her she had stood up for herself in a way most people couldn't. Yet Ava didn't feel like a hero. Not yet. She felt the quiet shift inside her, the first real spark of strength, of power she had never allowed herself to feel. For the first time, she realized that being invisible wasn't the same as being safe, and sometimes standing up could be the only way to survive.